So, continuing on from last time, adolescence had left me totally unprepared for my life. I had dreams, but I had no plans. I had no vision. I had no true goals that I could actually get to do. So I moved to Quebec. I moved in with my best friend Brent. And when I started working for his cousin, did I have a work ethic? Probably not. I actually remember one of the first jobs I had. One of the people that I was working for, it was a janitorial company, told told my best friend's cousin that he should fire me as soon as possible. I was a pretty bad worker. And I probably was. I wouldn't have accepted it at the time, but I was bad. Now, I was also a full-time minister, or I tried to be. In retrospect, I wasn't good at that either. Um, what I did enjoy doing is I started writing a lot of poetry and stories. This was some of my most productive time writing, just because I wasn't happy with anything that I was doing, and I needed an outlet. And I had some fair amount of free time. I didn't realize then how much free time I actually had. But as an adult, you look back at your 20s and go, man, I had a lot of free time. I really wanted to to have a girlfriend. I talked before how lonely I had been. I mean, in many ways, my best friend had been Spock. But I really wasn't emotionally ready for a girlfriend, even though I thought I was. I was really awkward. I mean, there was this one girl I really liked, and I knew it was over when she told me she was getting engaged. That's how clueless I was. And then, well, I've been worried about getting to this part of my life. But here I'm going to talk about it, so bear with me. My best friend's girlfriend moved to Quebec to be closer. She moved with her cousin. Now, I had known her cousin Julie before. We had never really gotten along. She sort of put up with me because I was her cousin's best friend. But she didn't like me. In fact, she had a rumor that I was working at KFC. She didn't go to KFC for like over 2 years because she was worried she had actually run into me. But her father had just died. She was lonely. She wanted a father figure. She came with her best friend, who was my best friend's cousin, and we just started hanging out. And even before I realized it, we were dating. Like, we'd be watching a movie as a couple, and then I realized that she was holding my hand. And like, as a clueless, naive, awkward guy, I thought this was maybe the answer to my dreams. Now, from the very beginning, we fought. And I happen to think the fighting was, it seemed normal. I mean, I grew up in a dysfunctional family, so fighting never seemed that wrong to me. Now, we didn't ever come to blows or have screaming matches. We just argued. I felt that marriage was a big deal of compromise. And so I was ready to make compromises. And I did. I made compromises. We got married, and we'd have an argument, and I would usually either would compromise. Not always, but usually either would compromise. And I would compromise. And I would do it again and again. I still didn't know who I was. Remember, my whole adolescence, I never really had any good goals or strong dreams or anything that I felt was really mine. I didn't know who I was. And I hope to find that out with my wife. It didn't happen. My wife knew who she wanted me to be. But as time went on, I started to realize that's not who I wanted to be. For example, I like a good cup of tea. I was raised in my father's British. I was raised with a good cup of tea. And my wife, her father was British. He was raised with a good cup of tea. So we both had that in common. A little minor thing, I know. But I like sugar in my tea. And my wife didn't felt I needed it. So she would often refused to let me have sugar in my tea. Now that's a little tiny thing. But that to me is an example. Why didn't she want me to have sugar? Her father didn't have sugar. Now I'm not trying to find the blame game. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying to understand myself where things took a nosedive in my life. And the problems were there from the very beginning of getting married. We moved back to BC and we got married. We actually had a double wedding. It was a beautiful thing. But trying to fix the problems, we would fix things by wanted to have a kid, and we want to fix problems by getting more involved with our friends, and then getting farther away from our friends, and then trying to find new friends, and we kept trying solutions to make us happy. Now, nobody can tell a 20-something-year-old what to do. I can tell that from experience. I can tell that in my own life right now. You can't tell a 20-year-old what's going to make them happy. There's nothing that I could have done back then or anyone could have done to make my life better. And in many ways, I was happy, but there was some seeds that were getting bigger and bigger. And that's what I'm going to talk about next time. This is a very difficult topic. I don't want to... This is where the video is going to end. Wasn't that exciting? 6 minutes of absolute rambling. I hope you're enjoying this. Thanks. Bye.